So before we start with the LCD display, I actually changed the previous program, the pins that we use in the constructor. I'll have that information on the website. So when you're watching this, just know that I changed some of the digital pins that we're going to use on the Arduino. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, let's go ahead and build the LCD circuit. Unfortunately, this is actually a rather complex wiring, so it's going to be a good 4-minute long video on how to do this. So to start out, let's get our breadboard. And you got to position the LCD since it is so big. I like to put it in the bottom right of the breadboard with the pins on the top side. When you look at the LCD, the pins will be at the top of the LCD. So like that, so I'll read it exactly how we're looking at it now. And we also need to get a potentiometer in here, so let's go ahead and slide that in. So just like we used potentiometer before, you got to slide it in, and we're going to be accessing all 3 pins on that. Alright, so here's another angle. Now let's go ahead and start wiring up the LCD. So I have a good fritzing diagram of this on the web page to use. So this will be me quickly going through it. 5 volts to pin 2 on the LCD display. And I'm going to piggyback off those 5 volts to also give 5 volts to my potentiometer. So I have 5 volts going to pin 2 and the potentiometer. I'm also going to piggyback another pin from 5 volts to the backlight, which is going to be pin 15. So now I have all my 5 volt lines hooked up correctly. Now I'm going to hook up my ground to pin 1, just like that. And again, I'm going to piggyback it off a couple times. So I'm going to give ground to my potentiometer. And then I'm also going to get ground to pin 5, which is going to be my read write pin. So we're going to ground that. So you got to squeeze it in here. Make sure you're on pin 5, just like that. And then we also need to get another ground to pin 16 for the backlight. So we got to ground the backlight, so I'm going to piggyback again off it. Alright, so there's our power and ground. Good. Now let's go ahead and get our first digital pin in there. So this is going to be connected to pin 4. Just like that. And then pin 5 is going to be connected pin 6. And then digital 7 will be connected to pin 11, which is data pin number 4. And then I'm going to do digital 9 connected to LCD pin 12, which is data pin 5. And then digital pin 11 will be connected to pin 13, which is data pin 6. And then finally, digital pin 13 will be connected to the pin 14, which is the data pin 7. And actually, I messed these up, so I got to slide them down 1. So the key part is that we have these 4 open pins in the center here. So I'll point this out. So we want these 4 pins to be open. Since we're using 4-bit mode, we're not using all 8 data pins. So it's a rather complicated circuit. It should look like this. And to wrap it up, we need to connect the potentiometer to, let's see here, this is going to be pin 3 on the LCD. And that's going to be able to let us control the contrast of the circuit. So now that everything's all wired up, it looks like a little rat's nest. Let's go ahead and upload our Hello World example and see what we get. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in our USB, and I just uploaded it. And right now, so I don't see anything yet, so I'm going to turn my little potentiometer, change the contrast, and there we go. There's the Hello World. So there we go. I successfully uploaded code to the LCD display.